All right, here we go. Netflix shareholders lose $9 billion as it refuses to stop sexualizing. Netflix CEO Hastings has defended his company's stubborn refusal to remove the movie Cuties from its streaming service by sharing an article from left-leaning website The Verge, which defends the movie. The opinion piece labeled "Independent" by Hastings claims the criticisms of the movie are little more than a conspiracy theory, despite the contents not being theoretically but plainly documented. The author quotes a Rolling Stone critic who claims the context of hypersexualization of little girls makes it totally understandable. The context is one of the film's themes is the hypersexualization of girls. Director Maimouna Dekori told one outlet. There were these girls on stage dressed in really sexy fashion in short, transparent clothes. They danced in a very sexually suggestive manner. I was transfixed, watching with a mixture of shock and admiration. I asked myself if these young girls understood what they were doing. The film is said to explore the difficulties being a little girl who are now growing up in a world obsessed with appearances and connectivity. The director claimed Cuties is a social commentary against the sexualization of young children. Joining the calls to cancel Netflix subscription over the highly inappropriate visual content, Leela Rose commented, "You don't fight child exploitation by exploiting children. You don't stop child pornography by creating, selling, and distributing child pornography." The hashtag cancel Netflix has gone viral, and so has the consumer activism. While corporations are private property and entitled to make really bad commercial decisions, which only make sense in the woke alternative realities of Hollywood and Silicon Valley, consumers are also entitled to vote with their feet and shop with other brands which do not pour hot contempt on their social convictions. Reed Hastings would be wise to seriously consider why he believes Cuties is worth losing $9 billion of shareholder money. A tweet from Ryan Foreigner, Netflix has lost over $9 billion in market value since cancel Netflix hashtag went viral. Good. Any network that promotes pedophilia should fall. Cuties received multiple awards at this year's Sundance Film Festival. One of the festival's co-founders, Sterling Van Wageningen, 71, was charged last year with sexual abuse of a little girl between the ages of 7 and 9. He left the festival advisory board in 1993. I reserve the right to criticize cultures which are backward or barbaric without being labeled a racist, because I can admit when mine is too. Everyone should be capable of cultural embarrassment, and an important key to cultural maturation. Here's a tweet from Ghost Jim. Someone needs to go to jail for this crap. Yeah, they do. They seriously do. Hold on a minute. Okay, that's enough. This is what this is what they want us to watch. This is what they want us to watch. That's it. I'm angry. Western culture will defend and celebrate this, and that's something we should admit is humiliating. Let that then drive us to change and mature as a culture. The Telegraph says this is an age of terrified child sexuality. An age terrified of child sexuality. Sorry. As if that's a bad thing. Yep, but obviously we're not terrified enough, given their awful article promoting it. Okay, the point of this is disgusting. In any news article that promotes this should be canceled. Personally, I'm slow to cancel change brands. I've done and will do when I think the issue is serious enough. I get that there's quite probably no corporation which completely shares my values, but the evidence that Cuties is well beyond anything society should tolerate is overwhelming. And likewise, the evidence is Netflix simply doesn't care about anything as much as profits. So I'm also canceling my Netflix subscription. I'm taking my money elsewhere, and you should too, but not without telling them why. It's a tweet from Hamza Ali Abbasi. It's horrifying to see how in the mainstream blatantly sexualizing 11-year-old girls. If this show is still there by next month, I'm canceling my Netflix subscription, and so should you. This right here, it's gross. No, this crap needs to go. All right? It's gross. It's disgusting. And people who say that, oh, it's not serious. Oh, it's not, it's not a, they're not sexualizing kids and, there's no indoctrination. Okay, we're going to read something here. California Governor Gavin Newsom signs bill changing sex offender law. We all know what California is known for, right? We all know what California is known for. Let's keep reading. Sacramento, California Gavin Newsom on Friday signed a law that would give judges a say on whether to list someone as a sex offender for having oral or anal sex with a minor. The expand the discretion currently granting judges in statutory rape cases and was promoted as bringing fairness under law to LG. I always told people that when Obama decided to make gay marriage legal, the floodgates of all immorality practiced behind closed doors, behind these LGBTQ people, would come out into the light and slowly enter into mainstream society. And you would have people trying to defend this sick mental disorder. The current law in place for decades permits judges to decide whether a man should be placed on California's sex registry if he had voluntary intercourse with someone 14 to 17 years old and was no more than 10 years older than the person. But that discretion only applied to a man who had vaginal intercourse. The new change permits judges to use that same discretion when the case involves voluntary oral or anal sex. It won't apply when a minor is under 14, when the age gap is larger than 10 years, or when either party says the sex wasn't consensual. The bill was introduced by State Senator Scott Wiener, a San Francisco Democrat. The law ends discrimination by treating LGBTQ young people the exact same way that straight young people have been treated since 1944, Wiener said in a statement, adding, "Today, California took yet another step toward an equitable society." Why should like I said, they're saying this is not about endorsing pedophilia, but why should we, not put a person who has committed a heinous crime like this on the sex offender registry? Why not? Why not? Who cares if they've, if they had anal or vaginal sex? The point of the matter is they violated a freaking child or a minor, and they need to be punished to the full extent of the law. Okay? And you're saying this is for LGBTQ defendants. Excuse me. Why should we care about a defendant who's guilty of this heinous act, regardless of what affiliation they belong to, or what lifestyle they belong to, or what protective lifestyle they belong to? I'm telling you, man, California is the regular Sodom and Gomorrah, modern day, and they're gonna try to bring it to all 50 states. Equitable California, a nonprofit civil rights group that co-sponsored the bill with the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, also applauded Newsom's signing. If we want a California for all, then we need a justice system that treats all Californians fairly and equally, regardless of who they are, what they look like, or whom they love, Executive Director Rick Chavez Zibber said in a statement released by Wiener's office. The bill passed the Assembly and Senate on split votes. with some members objecting to what they saw as an easing of punishments against those who have sex with minors. I cannot in my mind as a mother understand how sex between a 24-year-old and a 14-year-old could ever be consensual. How could it ever not be registrable offense? How could it not be a registrable offense? Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez, Democrat San Diego, said before the bill's passage, we should never give up on this idea that children should be in no way subject to a predator. Online critics had falsely blasted the measures as legalizing pedophilia. It is. It's a step in that direction. It's going in that direction. Okay? You already have, professors on TED Talks trying to say that, pedophilia should be a sexual orientation and not considered a mental illness and a sexually deviant behavior. Okay? You could look it up for yourself. Okay? You can type in professors that are trying to legalize pedophilia on TED Talks. They're trying to convince the public. Okay? It's real. All right? This person who wants to put this into law. This person right here. Gavin Newsom. It's really sad, man. We live in a sick world. We live in a very, very sick world. And it's going to get to a point where, parents are going to have to homeschool their kids. Okay. That's really what it's going to boil down to. Okay. That's what's going to happen. And parents are going to have, you have drag queens having storybook time with kids. Drag queens. And one of them was arrested because he was a registered sex offender. Okay. I remember reading that article a couple of years ago. Also, there's also an incident in New York City with a Brooklyn principal who was retiring. He was going to another district, and he decides to be in drag and dance provocatively in the school auditorium in front of 11-year-olds. So people could miss me with the nonsense telling me that this is just conspiracy theories. This is an agenda to bring this type of sick lifestyle into normal mainstream society and to force it to be accepted. Okay? That's why you have drag queen story time. That's why you have Desmond the Amazing, who was an 11-year-old dancing in drag in adult gay clubs. And grown men throwing coins at him. This is not a joke, people. You got classrooms that teaching on LGBT. Okay, history. And they want to try and indoctrinate the kids. Sad to say, you even got a father who's fighting in court right now against a mother who wants to inject hormones into their kids, estrogen, to have them behave like a girl. This is a war. Okay? This is real. Okay? And for those of people who understand what I'm saying, do take what precautions you need to protect your kids. All right, I'm out.